Do you guys remember the rich young man? You know, the guy who wanted to inherit the kingdom, but had to give everything away? I think we all have something in common with him. As he, Jesus, was setting out on a journey, a man ran up, knelt down before him, and asked him, "Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus answered him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone. You know the commandments. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. You shall not defraud. Honor your father and mother." And he replied and said to him, "Teacher, all of these I've observed from my youth." Jesus looked at him, loved him, and said to him, "You are lacking in one thing. Go sell what you have and give it to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me." At this statement, his face fell, and he went away sad, for he had many possessions. This guy, on paper, did everything right. This guy, according to modern day standards within our church, did everything right. But he wasn't willing to take that risk. I think we all do it. We all come to a point where we're either missing something or we're holding on to something so tight that it's preventing us from taking the next step. The rich young man is the story of all of our lives as following Christians, as devout Catholics. Now, we come to this struggle where we know everything there is to know, at least it's presumed that we know the basic charisma, and we live according to those standards. But in terms of trusting in God and taking risk, it's a bit uncomfortable. First, I had to acknowledge that something needed to change. With that acknowledgement came the most minute change by fluffing a pillow. That did not take much, but it set into motion more questioning as to how do I unlock the greatness within me. And fluffing a pillow was a second of work, but what it put into motion was a life of discipline. It put into motion a habit loop that was aligned with both my outcome and my identity. See, I knew that God is calling me to ministry work. And I know that I am co-working with Him, working alongside Him. But I also come to acknowledge the fact that nothing that I do is going to allow me to actually tangibly and physically see the change of someone. Now, because that's God's work. My job's to water, my job's to till the land, as is all of our jobs in ministry. We tend to hold on to wanting to see the fruits of our labor. So much so that we implement things that are instantly gratifying. I was in ministry once and I remember somebody saying, "I can't wait for these kids to open an affirmation box." And I was baffled by why they were excited. And the result was that person just wanted to see the tears flow from those kids' eyes, because it was going to give them a sense of accomplishment that what they did was good. No, we shouldn't be chasing that. We should be chasing eternity. A small, simple act of us acknowledging that God is God and God is going to do what He does regardless of what we do is going to change the landscape of our ministry at the parish level. And if we impact the parish level at that extreme, can you imagine what we can do collectively as a diocese? Can you imagine what we can do collectively as the state of Massachusetts, New England, the East Coast, all of the United States? You see the domino effect taking place when the divine outcome and the holy call to co-worker are aligned with our process and our pathways. I think you have it all within you. No one sees all the hard work you do, but we know because we've worked with you in that field. We want to keep great workers like you doing their thing for the sake of the gospel. I hope that these videos are empowering you, strengthening you, and helping you realize that as a co-worker, you're doing great work. But it's okay to acknowledge that there are some things you need to let go. And hopefully you will. God bless.